welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today I'm talking all about the top 10 scary Californian urban legends. I love me a bit of California. It's a beautiful place filled with sun, sea, and delicious snacks, but this list has really introduced me to a darker side. Before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys what city you would like us to do an urban legends about next. Let me know all of that in the comment section down below. Also, if you want to connect with me on social media, my link is in the description box. Okay, let's do this, shall we? Coming in at number 10, we have Alcatraz Island of Evil. I saw Alcatraz from across the water in San Francisco Bay, and I have to say, it is a very freaky place to look at. Before Alcatraz was even a high security prison, Miwok tribes of California were not about the rock. They thought that the sandstone rock that protrudes from the middle of San Francisco Bay was inhabited by evil spirits. When the prison was built on the rock, it became one of the most notorious high security prisons of all time. It's presumed that all who tried to escape the jail were killed. If the fall into the rocky water didn't kill you, the sharks that infested the water might. The prison was infamous for the criminals it hosted, their somewhat inhumane confinement, and the murders that happened within the walls of the jail. Alcatraz stopped functioning as a prison in 1963, but the memories of the building's brutal era live on. In 1946, 3 men were killed in a bloody standoff in Block C. Now these days, National Park employees believe that C Block is haunted. Security hear clanging and dissonant screams at night, and it's reportedly haunted by a troublemaking ghost called Butcher. He was a hitman killed by another prisoner. The most haunted place in the building, however, is allegedly Cell 14D, a solitary confinement hole. Now the hole is said to turn men crazy. Now, criminally insane, to me, is a lot worse than simply being a criminal. It seems that Alcatraz was always an island of evil spirits, but by building a jail there, the United States government added a few more to the mix, whilst damning others to expire there. Coming into number 9, we have the story of the Billiwhack Monster. Ah yes, the legend of Billiwhack. So this Californian legend goes all the way back to the 1940s, but it is still going strong today. The old Billiwhack Dairy building is situated in Santa Paula in Ventura County. The building was indeed an old dairy and was run by August Rubel, a German national living in the United States. Rumour had it at the time that Rubel had a secret lab under the dairy where he was working with the government to create a super soldier for warfare. In 1943, he had to go back to Germany, which was tricky as he was working for the Allies and war had already broken out. It seems that Rubel was killed by a German landmine and was unable to return to the Billiwhack dairy. Some years later, a strange creature was reported in the area around the now abandoned dairy. Most of the reports came from students at Santa Paula High School who called police to let them know that their cars were being hit by rocks. Who was throwing the rocks? Apparently a weird looking large animal. Some students even reported being set upon by a large white humanoid looking creature with goat-like horns and razor-sharp claws. It seems something fitting that description terrorized hikers nearby in 1964. It wasn't just the monster causing trouble either. Locals were getting frustrated with the teams of vigilantes turning up to try and hunt the beast. Coming in at number 6, we have the legend of California's Skinwalkers. In Navajo culture, a lot of people believe in Skinwalkers. Skinwalkers are said to be witches who ascend to their superhuman powers by murdering a close member of their family. These Skinwalkers can then take the form of an animal of their choosing, although they usually appear as wolves, owls and coyotes, foxes and crows. These witches are said to be extremely dangerous, and you do not want to encounter one for fear of invoking their wrath. These Skinwalkers are said to be most commonly found stalking deserts in California, like Death Valley. They are also said to appear in the Mojave National Reserve and Joshua Tree. When Nick Redfern visited Joshua Tree in August 2010 for a VH1 documentary, he said he came across a woman who helped save injured wolves and other animals in the area. It's very nice of her. Despite saving the wolves, she was deathly terrified of meeting a skinwalker, so much so that she wouldn't even utter the S word. Coming into number 7, we have Turnbull Canyon. Turnbull Canyon was dubbed the Dark Place by local native tribes, and that nickname has more to it than simply referring to a lack of light. Back then, the native tribes would refuse to set foot there. The place became even darker when Spanish invaders forced natives into the canyon, killing those that fell out of line. Since then, legend says that every Native American killed in the canyon Canyon still haunts it today, watching passers-by and waiting for the sun to rise. Many explorers feel watched when they venture out into the canyon. Not only is the canyon haunted by the spirits of the wronged natives, but it is also said to be a hotbed for occult activity. There have been reports of black-robed beings making effigies in the remote area. A string of disappearances around the nearby Puente Hills has been put down to satanic activity in the canyon. To make this a triple whammy of creepy, there is also an abandoned mental asylum in the canyon. Great. Coming in at number 6, we have the legends of Stow Lake. The White Lady is said to be one of the ghosts of San Francisco, and this particular lost soul is said to haunt the Stow Lake area of the city. Few are brave enough to walk by Stow Lake at night, although some zealous youths do find it funny to turn amateur ghost hunters by provoking the spirit. Now the story goes that once upon a time a woman was out walking her baby in a stroller. She became tired and she sat down on a bench next to the lake, taking in the sights. Another lady decided to sit down and join her, and they had a brief chat. While the women chatted, it is said that the stroller rolled away unnoticed, either because its brakes were faulty, or they weren't put on properly, or someone abducted the child. The mother became very distressed and started frantically wandering the area asking if anyone had seen her child. Eventually, she thought the baby must have rolled into the lake, and so she got into the water to look for her. After that, neither mother or child was seen again, and it is presumed that the woman drowned. These days, at night, her ghostly apparition still stalks the area looking for her child. Now some versions of the urban legend say that you can summon the ghost yourself. Allegedly, if you say, white lady, I have your baby," 3 times over, the lady will appear. She'll then ask you, "Have you seen my baby?" and if you say yes, she'll haunt you, and if you say no, she'll kill you. Coming into number 5, we have the Angel of Bodie. Bodie is one of many Californian ghost towns. As we know, California was at the forefront of the gold rush, but it was also heavy on the silver mining. Bodie had 10,000 residents in 1859 and was thriving in 1894 when little Evelyn Myers was born. Growing up around a mine has its dangers, but as families settled to make their fortunes, this was the life many children in the southwest of the United States came to know. Little Evelyn was nearly 4 years old when she tragically lost her life. Her downfall was her playful curiosity. She liked to follow the miners to work, and she would often land herself in trouble with her parents. One day she followed a miner to work and he sent her back home, but she was sneaky and snuck back to watch him work. Sadly, he didn't know that she was behind him when he swung his pickaxe backwards and crushed her skull. A monument was erected in her honor, and it is now said that her ghost haunts a deserted town. She can be heard laughing and giggling as she skips gleefully around her home. Don't like this one at number 4. We have the story of the Charred Man of Creek Road. I don't like a ghost at the best of times, but charred ghosts with vacant eye sockets? No. No thank you, not today. The legend of the Charred Man has been told around Ojai campfires for decades. The Charred Man is said to stalk Creek Road and the Camp Comfort County Park. Many have reported seeing the ghostly apparition of a man on fire with black burned skin and hollow eye sockets. The Charred Man has most commonly been spotted in the Creek Road Bridge. When a car passes the bridge, it is said that he will emerge and glare at passengers. Not only that, he comes with a stench of burning flesh, which is something I've luckily never had to experience. Can only imagine it's truly awful though. It is said that the man leaves an imprint of ash on cars that get too close to him. Coming into number 3, we have the monster of Elizabeth Lake. While Elizabeth Lake in the Antelope Valley may look like heaven, it actually has a hellish legend attached to it. Los Angeles County's largest natural lake could contain a nasty beast. Legend has it that the lake was created by the devil himself, and he placed one of his own pets inside it. If you swim deep enough, you may find a secret passage that leads to the underworld. The lake monster uses this passage to move between Earth and the netherworld. Now the lake was originally referred to by Spanish settlers as La Laguna de Diablo, the Lake of the Devil. This was because they were convinced of the lurking monster. In the late 1800s, a group of men claimed to have witnessed the ascension of a vast monster with bat wings coming out of the lake. Coming into number 2, we have the story of the Fresno Nightcrawler. The Nightcrawler. Rumors of a strange cryptid walking around at night in Fresno, California began surfacing in the late 90s and early 2000s. There were only a handful of eyewitnesses, and reports were shaky until some strange footage emerged in 2008. CCTV videos seemed to show a strange biped walking around a road. By biped, I mean that was pretty much it. The figure was all legs walking down the street. street like dexterous tweezers, or I guess a bit like possessed trousers. I don't like it. I don't like it. The footage is grainy, but definitely strange. Why not have a watch for yourself? Many people think that this strange Nightcrawler is some kind of Fresno monster, but more people out there think it's an alien. Similar cryptids have been spotted in Yosemite and Poland. What is this figure? Is it a puppet? Is it an alien? Is it an undiscovered creature? A ghost? A ghoul? Is the Fresno Nightcrawler real, whatever it may be, or is it a bizarre hoax? I just don't know. Finally, coming into number 1, this actually deeply unsettled me, and this has got more eyewitnesses than any on the list. We have the Dark Watchers of Santa Lucia. The Dark Watchers are a legend in Santa Lucia, California, and were known by Spanish settlers as Los Vigilantes Oscuro. The Watchers are regularly described as tools, sometimes giant-sized, figureless dark silhouettes, often adorned with brim hats or walking sticks. They have been frequently spotted in the Santa Lucia Mountains watching passers-by. Now the figures are mainly spotted around twilight and dawn. No one has ever seen one up close, and it is said that if a person does ever come close to one, they'll disappear. They've been regularly spotted by walkers, and many believe that if they stay on the path they're on and just keep on going about their business, the Watchers won't bother them. Writer John Steinbeck's son Thomas believed that he saw the Watchers growing up. In the late 1960s, a high school principal reported seeing a tall man with a hat watching him as he led a group hike. When he called out, the figure disappeared. Now people still report seeing these Watchers to this day. Scientists offer a number of different explanations for the sightings, with some saying that they could be Brocken specters. These happen in certain atmospheric conditions when the sun is at a particular angle. This could explain the whole dawn and dusk thing. Others say they could be fatigue-based hallucinations, but honestly, as people keep spotting them, the legend just keeps on growing. So guys, that was the top 10 scary Californian urban legends for you. Did you like this list? What do you think is the scariest? Honestly, the two-legged creep and the Watchers freak me out the most. So before I go, I just want to read some comments from our channel supporters. Now, supporting the channel is a brand new thing that you can do, and you can do that by clicking on the homepage and clicking the support button. It now means you get a little sign next to your name so I can see who's supporting us, and I wanted to read out some of their comments. Brad Manning said, "Hi Rebecca, it's great to see you, and hey, guess what? It's my birthday today. I'm gonna sing happy birthday to Brad. Happy birthday to Brad. Happy birthday to Brad. Happy birthday to Brad. Thanks for supporting our channel, you lads." Good! Finally, Thomas Carpenter said, "I'm never going to the dark web." Mate, don't. Just stick to the Birmingham Legion because I know you love it. This is the kind of level I get on with some of the fans, like, we chat. Good. Anyway, I am your host Rebecca Felgate. Once again, if you want to connect with me on social media, my link is in the description box down below. Also, don't forget to let me know what city you live in and whether or not you would like an urban legends for that place. In the meantime, why don't you hit the thumbs up button, share this video with a friend, and stay subscribed for more most amazing lists. Bye!